Also coming up this morning, over 90% of businesses in Ghana and the rest of Africa are at risk of heightened cybersecurity threats. And in sport, Black Stars fans expressed mixed feelings over defeat of the national team to Angola in the 2025 AFCON qualifier. We've got details of these and many more coming up in the next 20 minutes if you spend your time with me. My name is George Quinn, and now let's begin from here. Some civil society organizations have criticized Parliament for reneging on holding government accountable to protect Ghana's water bodies. This follows a recent revelation by the Speaker of Parliament that some MPs are complicit in the Galamsey fight. Let's listen to the comment made by the Speaker of Parliament and some MPs.
Anybody, whether you are a religious person, you are a traditional person, you are a politician, you are a flag bearer or an MP who politicizes Galamsey operations in this country, this house must take action on that person. We should invite any individual we have on video in this house who is promising the people of Ghana, especially the young people of Ghana, that if you vote for me, I would allow you to do Galamsey.
Our water bodies has been destroyed to the extent that we are threatened in a way that if care is not taken, we will not be able to have water. The Speaker, this is as a result of Galamsey. And he is the Minister for Defense. The President of State is President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So if the President has failed, he should admit so. And if he has failed as a Minister for Defense in tackling Galamsey, he should admit so. It is wrong for him to cast insinuations and aspersions and creating impressions that somebody is making political statement. The executive power of state is with the President, and you are the Minister for Defense. If you can tell us that you cannot deploy the military to stop Galamsey, but you can deploy the military to stop the exportation of maize, and so we should clap for you. Mr. Speaker, the issues we are talking about, they are serious issues. Our livelihood is threatened.
If we are to look and investigate both sides of the house, you have had the opportunity to rule this country before. I can tell you, you polluted the water more than us. You polluted the water more than us. The MPP administration and the NDC administration, I will be happy to debate you who has polluted our water bodies and our environment more than the other.
Honorable Minister for Defense, when you said I was not hearing from you because the country is safe. Now I've heard from you, and what I heard showed that the country is not safe. If I have to implement the request you are making, I'm not sure you will survive. All of you will survive. So please, let's move away from that one, because it's very difficult to determine what a political statement is when you are talking about Galamsey, and what a political statement is not when you are talking about Galamsey. And as to videos about Galamsey, the later we talk about it, the better.
Meanwhile, the Citizens Movement Against Corruption says following the failure of political leadership in solving the Galamsey menace, a mass citizen action is required to deal with the canker. Adam Senanu is the co-chair of the movement. Take a listen.
It's time for citizen action as far as I'm concerned. Article 41K makes it the responsibility of every citizen to protect and safeguard the environment. I think part of the problem is that we have also checked our responsibilities. We've not been responsible citizens enough to have stopped this when it was a smaller issue, and now it's become much bigger. At this point, just waiting for ministers to respond probably will not be enough. We need citizens out there. Like this week, I think earlier in the week, we had a media person arresting some of these Chinese guys. That is the kind of action, and we need to mobilize ourselves to make sure that the government knows that we are serious. And Parliament needs to do much more than what it is talking about at the moment. We absolutely are not. We are not even holding the government. You can't have a president who says, my presidency is on the line on this matter. I mean, how is it possible that we have military and the military couldn't deal with this? It tells you that somebody must be complicit. There must be conflicted leadership. Otherwise, this should have been dealt with long ago. So it's time for us as citizens to deal with this matter. As much as often as we can talk about it, hold hands, identify, name and shame, this is the time to do that.
Away from the Galamsey menace, the Electoral Commission has rejected the NDC's request for a live telecast of a planned meeting to discuss challenges with the Provisional Voters Register list. The opposition NDC has had cause to raise complaints about the current voters' rule after the Electoral Commission by itself admitted to wrong voter transfers by its officials and the bloating of the Provisional Register. According to the NDC, the discrepancies on earth warrant a live telecast to aid the process of a free, transparent election that, as we understand now, has been rejected by the Electoral Commission. Let's walk you through the basis of the EC's rejecting. And the Electoral Commission stands in readiness to hear the National Democratic Congress over the discrepancies it has identified with the Provisional Voters Register. And also the identification of discrepancies by your party is therefore not a new phenomenon. Commission is absolutely committed to free, fair, transparent, peaceful, and credible election. Also further goes on to say, however, the Commission does not accept the proposal of a live broadcast of the meeting. Our team is ready to meet with your team on the agreed time. Indeed, we are Election Command Center. Trust us for credible reportage before, during, and after the general elections. In more news this morning, the National Democratic Congress says it will meet with the Electoral Commission despite the EC's refusal for the meeting to be televised. The party maintains that the EC is running away from accountability and transparency. Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is the party's Deputy Director of IT.
This exercise. We've never seen a situation where massive illegal transfer of voters from one constituency to another without their knowledge. This is completely unacceptable. This is the first time. It has never happened. Look at their response to us. They decided to hide away the transfer issue. Why haven't they talked about the transfers? Who told you anytime we do exhibition, you see issues of transfer, people's name be illegally transferred? How? Because transfer, you cannot do it without appearing before a returning officer in the constituency. And so if you are not see that your name has been moved from one constituency to another, that's illegal. That is why they interdicted one of their offices. And so this is the first time we are seeing such a massive distortion of data of Electoral Commission. That is why we want this transparent process so that the public will get to understand what is in the register and what led to that. That's what we are just trying to do. We are going there with our own equipment. We are going with our projectors and laptops. I meant to do the presentation, but we will find innovative means of getting you this media to cover the program.
Despite a Wenchi High Court ordering compensation to be paid to 6 victims of the Techiman South violence, John Dramani Mahama is welcoming the move, but assuring of a conclusive investigation into the killings and a befitting compensation paid to the victims and their families. Family of one of the victims killed is rejecting the compensation. Here's a report by Komla Kluche.
It remains a single blot on the December 2020 elections where the victims were described in a most dehumanizing term.
Do we commiserate with the families of armed robbers we shoot?
Are the people who died armed robbers or are they criminals?
Were they in the process of committing a crime? Let's determine that.
After several engagements deemed by some members of the political class as unjust attitudes of state security apparatus operating fire on innocent victims, some respite has come from the court for 6 of the victims. Mother of Tajuddin Al-Hassan, who lost his life in the violence, leaving behind 4 children, feels disrespected.
I have been mocked severally on this issue and alleged money I have not even gotten. They should keep their money. I don't even need it. If my son was alive, I would have gotten more than this. But I believe in John Mahama when he says he will get justice.
Inshallah, inshallah. The mama be the church sama.
But as elections inches closer, it appears the people of Techiman South are looking at hindsight.
That yes, what they have done to us, meaning that we are not Ghanaians or what? There is no justice since these boys were shot and killed.
With an overwhelming win in 2020 elections in the Techiman South constituency, John Mohammed's entry into the constituency sent the crowd agog. Polls by Global Info Analytics suggest the MPP could sweep the parliamentary seat as against the NDC. John Mahama is warning against disunity and disloyalty.
They deserve appropriate compensation. We will bring justice and finality to this matter.
So one to abani ya, and so ewo ho. So what to ni so and also betenka. Enti abato ayebeto 7 December 2024. It was say yede yenyansa and no kre and eto sabano.
For the candidate Christopher Bayre, a plea for unity is his call. The convoy proceeded thereafter to Ikranza South. A fired up John Mahama says with the policy propositions in the People's Manifesto for a reset of the country, the elections cannot be lost by the NDC.
We share $58 million. No? And yes, I'm the chair contractor no. And Crophobia yendim omo. Yes, we na year drawing B now you take $20-something million near the mano. Yes.
They have sunk $58 million into the world's most expensive hole. That money is not even for the contractor. Some architect and a cabal of friends has been given money we could have used for something else. We will investigate this.
About $58 million each. I'm not a siankwa and a daho. Into my case, so say, Sa National Cathedral, no, and also Yabeshim.
Komlak Luche, TV3 News in Kranza.
Well, Komlak Luche is a man on the grounds regarding the tours of the NDC flag bearer, and so we'll be updating us in our subsequent bulletins. And now to the camp of the MPP, because its flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has challenged the former president, suggesting Mahama is avoiding a debate due to a lack of data to support his argument. Dr. Bawumia, while continuing his campaign, insists the MPP government has outperformed the NDC in all sectors of the economy. Take a listen.
As the December 7 elections draw closer, the Vice President and MPP flag bearer Dr. Bawumia is intensifying his campaign efforts in the Greater Accra region. Determined to reverse the party's fortunes after their 2020 defeat, he's leaving no stone unturned in rallying support for the NPP, leading the onslaught across key constituencies. The Vice President is on a mission to regain ground for his party.
Whether it's agric, we have done better. Whether it's industry, we have done better. Whether it's jobs, whether it's roads, we have done better. Whether it's railway, we have done better. Hospitals, we have done better. Interchanges, we have done better. Classrooms and schools, we have done better. Sports facilities, we have done better. Sanitation facilities, we have done better. Court buildings, we have done better. Fiber optic cable, we have done better. AstroTurfs, we have done better. There is no single area.
Amid growing calls for a debate between the two major flag bearers, John Mahama of the NDC and Dr. Bawumia of the NPP, the NDC has insisted that Mr. Mahama will not engage in a debate with the Vice President. In response, Dr. Bawumia remarked that former President John Dramani Mahama is reluctant to debate him because, according to him, Mr. Mahama lacks the data to support his claims.
And this is why the former president doesn't want to debate me. He doesn't want to debate me because he knows that he doesn't have the data. He can make statements on political platforms where nobody can challenge him, but he cannot make them in front of me. He cannot.
Responding to questions from some professionals and traders association on taxes, Dr. Bawumia explained his flat tax rate policy.
The tax system, it is something
that has been worrying me too for a long time. If you look at our tax system, it has become very complicated. I want us to move to this new transparent tax system, a flat tax system in Ghana. That is where I want Ghana to move to next year. I want us to, so that it's very simple to calculate what you owe for businesses and for individuals. And because I want us to move to this new system, I don't want legacy issues to be there. So next year, I'm going to give a tax amnesty to all businesses and all individuals.
Let's stay in the camp of the MPP because its running mate, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, has called for a simplified tax system that all Ghanaians will be able to pay, knowing it is going straight to government. Dr. Opoku Prempeh was speaking at a mini rally in Abosokan to rally support for the party ahead of the December polls.
Hundreds of party sympathizers besieged the main Abosokan main road to show support for the party. The running mate was in the company of the Member of Parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Japan, aspiring Member of Parliament for the area, Jefferson Saki, and other party officials. Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh justified the need for a simplified tax regime.
We will simplify the 22 taxes by one flat plan, and anyone who couldn't pay his tax from the past years will not have to pay anymore.
He called on traders to vote massively for the NPP and the aspiring Member of Parliament, Jefferson Saki.
If you vote for Jefferson Saki and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the increase of the dollar rate that is affecting your businesses will cease.
Member of Parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Japan, explained, despite the current economic challenges, the alternative would be detrimental for the youth of the country.
I am a businessman and I understand your duty rules. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has promised us to fix all duty problems.
Well, if you're just tuning in, you're watching the morning news on TV3 right here on New Day. And now let's talk sport. We're bringing you a reaction from Ghanaian fans at the Baba Yara Stadium after Ghana's defeat yesterday.
Fantastic. The Black Stars played very well. We were just unlucky.
Instead of him to do the substitution on time, the substitution was, he made the substitution at the wrong time. The substitution was, the substitution was a wrong time. Why must you wait till 90 minutes? We wait until 90 minutes and send a best substitution. Why?
Nanka so your changes. Oma oyi is like usun time. Efrim. Now oma samenyo boy you know eba.
Tactical mistakes because coach you know want to share Jordan and Semenyo now on more the same pitch. I'm saying your goal, but Semenyo playing left wing like and I am not afraid so you may say Salis Summit because the will be our initiative play.
We are coach. You about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes. Bibia and Chelsea go. Who are players or bench? I don't know. Yet 5 minutes go.
Blaster team Nagasano. I don't know. Say Diabo, say no meal, say me to me. Number 4 first half game. About nice game. Nothing. Even change the score as a coach. Yeah. On the right changes.
Those were some views from disgruntled Black Star supporters. On that note, we end the morning news. For more news updates, you'd want to log on to our website, it's 3news.com. Thanks for watching. It's always a pleasure coming your way. My colleagues are standing by to continue with the morning show. Enjoy your morning.
Every moment counts. One team stands ready